All right, my name is Mr. Wyrick, and I'm going to go over this Chapter 3 review. I'm going to kind of choose some selected parts to speed this along so that you can watch the video in a shorter amount of time. Hopefully this week I won't make another 20-minute one. So, name the plane parallel to BCD. BCD is this top. You can see the bottom is this one that's kind of shaded in, so that would be A, F, E. Remember, this is a multiple choice test. Those letters could be in any order. It'll still be the right answer. The planes that intersect BCD are going to be the ones that touch the top. So since it's triangular, BAD, CBF, and FDE, just the back side, the other back, and this front one are all going to come up and touch the top. All the segments that are parallel to AB, AB is an edge, so the other edges are going to be parallel, CF, DE. All the segments that intersect AB, those are going to be the ones that share a letter. That's the only way it's going to intersect. So FA and EA are both going to touch there at A, and then all the segments that intersect B will be CB and DB. Just make sure you're looking at the graphs properly. Any illustration, that'll make a difference. All the segments that are skewed to AB, this is what we've done before. If you color code it, it does kind of help. This is AB. Anything that is coplanar with it is not going to be skewed. So AB is part of this entire front, okay? AB is also part of this entire back side over here. So ABCF, this side over here, and then ABDE, this front one here. So the only ones that are going to be skewed that don't share a plane are going to be FE and CD. Okay, locate it. Make sure it's not all going the same direction. You'll be in a good shape. I'm only going to go through the evens on this part because it's the same kind of thing. The transversal is the one that touches both of them. So 2 and 10 are both touched by line N, and according to their location, they are corresponding angles. 6 and 16 are here and here. They're both touched by line P. So line P is their transversal, and they are alternate exterior angles. 13 and 10 are right here. They are both touched by line M. So line M is their transversal, and they are consecutive interior angles. They should be, well, when the lines are parallel, they'll be supplementary. And then on number 12, 9 and 15. 9 and 15 are out here. They are both touched by line M, and they are alternate exterior angles again. So probably you'll see the only other relationships we haven't seen a pair of alternate interior. That'll be 7 and 13 over here. They're on line P, and they are alternate interior. Make sure you understand these angle relationships. I have the names of the angle relationships on your cheat sheet, but not what that looks like. So make sure you understand what those are, how those work. Flip to page 2. Solve for X. In this case, these lines are parallel, so they're going to be exactly the same. So that's 96 plus X, or X plus 96 is equal to 93. Those angles are congruent. They are alternate interior angles. They will be congruent. That means that X is 3. Again, I'm just going to kind of keep going through the evens here. This is going to be the one that's different. On the rest of these, alternate exterior are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. So these two are going to be consecutive interior angles. They're supplementary. I do have that consecutive interior angles are supplementary on your cheat sheet, but you will have to remember what consecutive interior angles are. So this is 27x minus 5 plus 50 equals 180. That's 27x plus 45 is equal to 180 because the 50 and the minus 5 will go together. I subtract 45 from both sides, and I get 27x is equal to 135. If I divide both of these by 27, I'm going to get x is equal to 5. You can also do this by just subtracting the 50 from 180 and having that 27x minus 5 equals 130, because you'd still get the 27x is equal to 135. On that last step, if you need a calculator, you will have a calculator at your disposal. Use a calculator. Find the slope of the line through the pair of points. Remember, slope is, they've got something written here. I just use change in y over change in x. From -4 to -2 is a change of 2. From 11 to 1 is a change of -10. That's going to reduce to a -1/5. On number 19, change in y from 3 to 15 is a change of 12. From -14 to 0 is a change of 14. That's going to reduce to 6/7. Finding the slope of the line down here. Remember, slope guy, if it's going uphill, it's a positive slope. If it goes downhill, it's a negative slope. If it's straight up and down, the slope is undefined. And if it's a flat line, it has a slope of 0. This one is going downhill. It goes down 1 over 1. This is a slope of -1. On this one, it goes up 1 and over 2. That's 1/2. It's going uphill. It's positive. This one goes, let's see, got to find those exact points. 1 here, 1 here. That's down 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. And we can see it's going downhill. It has to be negative. Remember, you're dealing with a multiple choice test here. So if it says the slope is supposed to be negative and it has 4 graphs for you to look at, cross off the ones that are going uphill. If it shows you a graph and it's going uphill like that, immediately cross off the answer choices that are negative. Okay? Cut it down to 50-50 or whatever, it'll help out. Down at the bottom, write the slope-intercept form of the equation given the slope and the y-intercept. The slope goes where the m is, y equals 3x. The y-intercept goes where the b is, that's +2. Write slope-intercept form of the equation of a line given the point with the given slope. This is why they had us practice point slope form. I don't really like to use that formula. I just like to use the y equals mx plus b. So here's my x, here's my y. That's 4 is equal to, my slope is -3 over 2. My x value is -2 plus b. I don't know what my b is. I multiply. 2 times 2 is going to make 1, or 1/2 times 2 here is going to make 1, so I can kind of cross those out. And the negative times the negative is going to make a positive. So I have 4 is equal to a +3 plus b. I subtract 3 from both sides. I get 1 is what b is. That means this is y is equal to -3 halves x plus 1. Think your way through it. Make sure the graph matches up. Look at the graph and see if it goes through the point. That kind of stuff can help you out on something like this. And then let's take a look here on the next side. Slope-intercept form of the equation of each line. Here's my y-intercept at -4. I'm going to go ahead and put a -4. Then I look at my slope. The next point that it looks like it goes through is this one up here. That's up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going downhill. My change in y over here is 5. My change in x here is 4. So this is y equals a -5/4 x minus 4. I've got that completely off the screen. Same kind of thing with the other one. It's positive, it's going uphill. I can look at my slope by finding a couple of points here and here. It goes up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2. Y equals 3 halves of x, and it goes through a -3. That's a -3. I did write this. Parallel is the same slope. Perpendicular is the opposite reciprocal. So that should be on your cheat sheet, your answer document tomorrow. If it goes through this point and it's parallel to this, that's y equals 7x. So here's my y, -4 equals 7 times 1 plus b. Okay, I don't really like to use the point slope. That's -4 is equal to 7 plus b. I subtract 7. I get a -11 for b. This is 7x minus 11. You have to be careful when you get this. If it's perpendicular to 2/3, that means I'm going to have a slope of a -3/2. I have to flip it over, and then I have to put in the negative as well. So this means if it's going to go through that point, that's -1 is equal to -3/2 times -2 plus b. The negative times the negative is going to make a positive. 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom are going to make 1. -1 is equal to 3 plus b. Subtract 3. I get b is equal to a -4. So this is -3/2 x minus 4. If this is a multiple choice question on tomorrow's test, you can, at the very least, look at the slope and know what it takes to change it to perpendicular. You have to flip the fraction over, you find the reciprocal, and then you change that sign. It's the opposite reciprocal. So the 2/3 to 3/2, the positive to negative, that should at least get your slope correct, which might even get you the right answer just knowing that, but you can check that, and you can check what it is, you know, if you have to put the y-intercept in, make sure it works. Okay, find the value of x that makes the lines parallel. Again, I'll just kind of look at this is exactly what we were doing before. If it's going to make them parallel, then these things have to either be on 31, 33, and 32. They have to be equal to each other to make it parallel. On 30, they're going to have to be supplementary. X plus 138 plus 51 is equal to 180. This is x plus what? 190 is equal to 180. Subtract 190. X is equal to a -10. That doesn't mean that it's a wrong answer. We don't have negative angles, but you can still have a negative x value if it makes the statement true. On any one of these next ones, like this right here, actually we might as well do 33, it's the more challenging one. 10x plus 10 is equal to 9x plus 21. I subtract 9x, subtract 9x, that gives me x plus 10 is equal to 21. I subtract 10, subtract 10, I get x is equal to 11. Okay? These are corresponding angles. These up here on 31 are alternate interior angles. These here on number 30 are consecutive interior angles. These here on 32 are alternate exterior angles. So just again, make sure that you understand these relationships and what that's going to mean. All right, that should be the end. I'll get this whole thing finished up. I'll get it posted on the Google Classroom so you'll see a completed copy. Hopefully the video in this will help you out, and good luck on the test.